for me, one of the things that immediately became apparent, and especially over the last few months, has been you have a really interesting play in AI. But this isn't like a new entry point for you either, Chris. The company's long been playing in AI. Talk about kind of the company's historic play in AI and then how maybe this trend line over the last few months has changed the way the company is thinking about it. Has it changed your story at all?
Sure. No, good question. So first of all, as AI has really exploded into the sort of public knowledge lately, over the past 6 to 12 months, you've seen a lot of companies scrambling to say, what is our story for AI? How are we gonna take advantage of this huge wave? The really fortunate position Marvell was in is we had a story. We didn't have to create one, right? We were already playing in these markets. I think the difference is, as you said, we sort of set the company up with our strategy for data infrastructure. Okay, and that really has been based on the fact that we see more and more applications needing more and more data in infrastructure and really harnessing the world's data to power the future of infrastructure computing. And the big areas that we focused on were cloud, 5G, and automotive. And cloud, of course, has been one of our biggest growth drivers over the last several years. I think what's different is that in the past, we looked at AI as one application within the cloud. And there were a number of applications going on within the cloud. But AI, what's changed over the last 6 to 12 months is AI has emerged as the biggest growth driver by far within our cloud portfolio. And so what we outlined more recently is what exactly is our play and our content within the AI sphere. And we hadn't really talked about that specifically in the past, even though it was always a part of it. And ultimately what we see happening now is that AI has become the killer app for data infrastructure. So if you define data infrastructure as the infrastructure to move, store, and process the world's data, there's no more data hungry app than artificial intelligence. And so that's just driven sort of a step function change within what's needed within infrastructure. So for example, within cloud, you can see that the data centers that are needed to drive AI workloads versus standard workloads require an order of magnitude more bandwidth, for example, or more to connect these apps, because the applications don't fit within a server or a system. They're spread out amongst thousands of systems over a cluster or even across data centers, which drives like a massive step function increase in the networking bandwidth required to connect all those applications.